When working with virtualization, it's important to control the integrity of the virtual machine's state at the time of the backup operation. Commvault provides host-level configurations that provides advanced controls over the state of the virtual machines at the time of backup. Application-aware backups allow for virtual machine-level backups to capture the state of application data at the time of the backup. This includes data in memory and pending transactions, making it easier to restore the application in a consistent state. An application-aware backup for a virtual machine quiesces the application, flushes its memory, completes pending writes, and creates a software-level snapshot of application data. After the software snapshot is created, the application resumes. This feature is important when you need Commvault to orchestrate data protection and recovery at the application level within your guest virtual machines. Enabling this feature introduces a second part to backup operations of the virtual machines. The first in the portion is the standard virtual server agent backup. This part can be configured as either the default streaming or the advanced IntelliSnap method. The second is the backup of the application. This backup is triggered by Commvault automatically in line with the VSA backup. It is important to understand that the backup of application data always shows as using IntelliSnap, even if the VSA backup is a streaming backup. This is due to it being an internal snapshot control operation of that application. The benefit of application-aware over file system and application consistent is that Commvault coordinates the snapshot compared to being dependent on VMware tools. VMware tools are now open source and can be out of date on any of your virtual machines. Before making the decision to utilize application-aware backups for VMware virtual machines, there are a few considerations. First, you will want to take into account the types of VMs, their operating system, and applications. With regards to Linux VMs with applications, they require a Linux VSA access node to perform the backup operation. You should also consider which application types are supported. Be sure to check the Commvault documentation to confirm the latest information. Currently, some of the most common application and database types are supported, including Active Directory, Oracle databases on both Windows and Linux, and Microsoft SQL Server. During the first application-aware backup that runs per virtual machine, an application plugin is automatically deployed. This is performed using an automated remote installation workflow against the virtual machines that are part of the VM group's content. This has the same remote installation requirements as any other file system client. Depending on the OS type, you must ensure that the required firewalls and ports are open and listening to accept the installation. Ensure that the CommServe, Media Agent, and VSA Access node are able to communicate with the virtual machines that run applications. The automated remote installation workflow installs the file system core, media agent, and the specific application plugin relevant to the application being backed up. For example, if it's an Oracle VM, the Oracle plugin is deployed. The credentials that you specify for application-aware backups at the hypervisor, VM group, or virtual machine level are leveraged to both install application plugins and to perform data protection operations on the application data per VM. It is critical that account permissions are properly configured, or these operations will fail. Before demonstrating how to configure application-aware, let's review the overall backup workflow for application-aware operations. There are 7 general steps that run as part of this workflow, which is inserted as part of the common VSA backup process. VMs that are running an application that can be protected by application-aware backups are discovered. If an application plugin is not available on the guest VM, one is automatically pushed out to it via a remote installation for Commvault. If a remote installation is run, an application client is automatically generated within the CommCell. A backup operation is launched locally on the VM via the application plugin. The application plugin generates an application-consistent software snap backup. Once the snapshot has successfully been generated, the VSA backup will run and secure the data for the entire VM, including the application data, which is now consistent based on the snapshot. The application plugin indexes and catalogs the backup data to support granular restores. Note that if an application is already configured to be backed up by an application agent, it will not be backed up using application aware. If you wish to back up the application data, you must discontinue regular backups via an in-guest agent. Application aware is configured on the VM group within Configuration section. Click Edit on the Settings section and make sure Application aware is selected. Selecting the key icon allows you to enter in the guest credentials that will be utilized to access and manage the application-aware operation on the VM's operating system. It's that easy.